One of my favourite additions to Football Manager in recent years has been the NxGen Top 50 WonderKids. I feel like this is one of those news inbox items that you always look forward to. It comes at the start of April, and as you can see here, Jude Bellingham is considered the next star of world football. Not the most surprising inclusion, not like we've had a totally unknown name at the very top. That said, Vidovic came runner-up. This guy plays for Vitesse in the Netherlands. It's worth noting that his contract with them expires very shortly. He's currently on loan from Bayern Munich. And, well, to be fair, he does look good. I wouldn't say he looks great, but the man who I think looks great is in a number 3. Maybe I'm biased. It's Andreas. Of course it was Andreas. This man has been very, very good for us. Easy to forget. He's only 18 years old. He finished 3rd. He wasn't the only one of our players in the top 10. Andre Santos. Remember this bloke? I'm a fan of him. Don't know if you've heard. 18 years old. He came in the top 10 as well, continuing to improve the box-to-box midfielder. And, well, very, very keen to continue to give him regular first-team football. Since he's joined us in January, he's not exactly set the world alight, but he's doing okay. In at number 4 as well, familiar face for those of you who watched the Atalanta series to end last year's Football Manager, Scalvini, the centre-back, a world-class player, it has to be said. Asking price apparently of between 23 and 29 million pounds. At 19 years old, I suppose I should be considering a remove for him in the summer. There's lots of big names interested, maybe add my name to that list. I will just have a quick flick through the rest of the top 50. Only 2 of our players were in the top 50. Of course, if there's any players here that I should be going out and signing, let me know which of these you've maybe picked up in your FM save game. Marcos Leonardo this year is really, really good. He's been consistent, I feel like, for the last few years in Football Manager. He is as good this year as any year before. A few other players, I guess, worth mentioning. Gluck, that's definitely not how you say this guy's name, but the Israeli centre-attacking mid is a really, really, really good player. He's currently on loan, if I'm not mistaken, from Bayern Munich at Copenhagen. You can see here, Bayern Munich signed him in-game. I think he starts playing at Maccabi Tel Aviv. So, yeah, maybe have this guy on your radar if you're playing FM. And just flicking through the last couple of screens here, a few players you might recognise. Zach Karyan, I had in my Atalanta save game last year. Fagir was good in Football Manager last year. He's still rather good. Lavia there as well. And the final players up here. You can see them all. Is there any super weird names there? There's a guy who plays for Bolton. This guy, Connor Bradley, he's on loan, is he, from Liverpool? Indeed he is. He's tearing it up in League One for Bolton. So much so, they've put him in the top 50. Bellingham might have won it, but Andreas is the real winner. Recognised for his talents. Hopefully today he's going to put in a good performance. We've got our first live comm of a North London derby, as well as the small matter of a game against Leeds. Shall we get into it? How's it going, folks, and welcome back. This is episode number 8 of our Arsenal Let's Play here in the Football Manager beta. Today we are heading towards that crunch time of the season. We're playing in the FA Cup, we're playing in the Premier League. Those are maybe the last 2 competitions that we're playing in. If you missed last episode, you should go check it out. It was one of the best episodes ever. As people pointed out in the comments, somewhat ironic, I was wearing a Sweden shirt as Zlatan Ibrahimovic scored 3 goals against us. I'm not over it. Now, in terms of matches since you were last here, we have played 3 games in all competitions. The first of those was the FA Cup quarter-final, taking on Chelsea. We needed to recover after the AC Milan disappointment, and recover we just about did. I think on the balance of play, we probably were the better of the 2 teams in this game, but it was Chelsea who took the lead. Raheem Sterling latching on to a rather short back pass from our centre-back towards Ramsdale, and with 10 minutes left, we had to turn things around. We got off to a good little start. Emil Smith Rowe to the byline, crossed it in, it was deflected. Andreas was there to score with his head, and then in extra time, right as well, it looked like the game wasn't going to be settled after 90 minutes. Saka broke through and slotted it into the bottom corner, gave us the lead, gave us the win. Massive result against Chelsea, but unfortunately, as we took them on a few days later, after an international break, we lost 1-0. Kai Havertz did get the only goal of this game. I feel like at the moment this season is 1 step forward, 2 steps back. We've not been able to just extend a little run of games together. This defeat here was disappointing. The good news is we did bounce back most recently. A dominant display against Brighton, something that we desperately needed, and a player who desperately needed goals got them. Jesus picking up 2 goals in this game. Prior to this match, he had 1 goal in his previous 10 games. He had been in a rotten run of form. You can see the sea of yellow bars here for his last kind of 20 games. It's been so disappointing, but it was great to see him back on the score sheet. I'm hoping That is going to galvanise him today, as we've got the small matter of Leeds United, and then a week later, Tottenham, away from home. A Tottenham team who right now are 4th in the league, not a million miles behind us. It's worth noting, we are in 2nd. If we win our game in hand, we would go ahead of Man City. There's only 8 games left of the league season. It's all kicking off. Over in the FA Cup, we are into the semi-final with that win against Chelsea. So far, with the exception of the Chelsea game, I feel like it's been a straightforward path, and that kind of continues. I don't want to jinx it too much, but we aren't going to be taking on Championship opposition in Burnley. Vincent Kompany's team are top of the table. The Championship is crazily competitive. That said, that's a game that I back us to win, and if we do win that game against Burnley, we will be playing in an FA Cup final against either Tottenham or Liverpool. Now, it's worth noting, Tottenham and Liverpool, we still have to play in the league before the season is over. Yes, we are in a position where if we were to win all our remaining games, we would win the Premier League ahead of Man City, irrespective of what they can do. That said, not got necessarily the easiest run of games. Today we have Leeds at home, a game that we should win. After that, the Tottenham game away kind of scares me. Beyond that, Everton's never going to be an easy game, even if they are struggling this year. We also have the small matter of Man U in 6th, Liverpool in 3rd, and also an Aston Villa currently in the top half, all before the season is over. So, yeah, we might be in a good position in the league. We might be in 2nd. It's far from wrapped up. I'm going to hope today, though, in 2 games that we have a week apart, we can do a little bit of wrapping. You know, we'll get the sellotape ready, we'll get the scissors out, the wrapping paper's going to be there, the league table's in the middle, we're measuring it all up. Maybe we can start that wrapping process today. I feel like I might have taken that metaphor a little bit too far. Just looking at things, Man City did beat West Ham 3-0. Of course, West Ham started the season amazingly. They're now in 5th, which, to be fair, for West Ham is still a really, really solid finish, particularly when you look at some of the teams behind them. That said, they couldn't do us a favour when I needed it. Only one injury in the first team at the moment. It's to Diakaibi, who of course has been really a little bit of a squad option this year, has played less frequently ever since Christmas. Came in to be a squad player. He's been a very effective squad player for us, to be fair. Has started 13 of our league games this year, so not an insignificant contribution. A player who maybe would have struggled to get on the bench anyway. Sadly, he is unavailable. When you look at our team, our form has been very hit and miss, it feels like, over the last few months. I suppose that is represented in the last 5 games. Very few players with green ratings here. Saka has been a standout performer as of late. A little bit of a match winner. For that reason, he's starting today. Of course, signed that new contract in the winter. Elsewhere in the team, Martinelli's going to start out on the left-hand side with Odegaard down the middle. Jesus through the middle as the lone striker. Of course, a player who this year has, well, since the turn of the year, struggled quite a lot. He had a great start to the year. He's slowed down significantly since. That said, 19 goals for the season is absolutely nothing to scoff at. I do feel like one of our biggest issues in this recent run of form has been just a lack of goal scoring. When we were on our winning run, we were scoring 3 or 4 goals most games. The reality is we have struggled to do that as of late. And when I look at our striking options, it's safe to say it's that one area of the pitch where we are lacking a little bit. Okay, so this first game today, I think, is the most winnable of the 2 matches. I think Tottenham away is going to be a real test, especially with our recent form. If we could win here, it'd be back-to-back wins for the first time in a little while, and it'd be certainly something I appreciate. Maybe something that could really give us some momentum going into this tail end of the season. With us no longer in European football, there's a little less rotation needed. We can play our stronger team more consistently. This team we're fielding today, I think, is our strongest team at the moment. The question is going to be, can we make something happen? Of course, Leeds United, the king of the press. I feel like they are a very good team at rushing you when you have the ball. And while defensively, we are all over the place. And but for a superb Ramsdale save, Leeds could have had the lead there via Rodrigo. That was a great stop. Tomiyasu on this near side, a man whose praises I was singing not that long ago. He's been quiet as of late, but he's involved here, and he's involved as we're going to craft out a great opportunity. Saka on the right to Martinelli on the left was a chance that was more difficult to miss than score, but the left-hand-sided player has found the back of the net, and it all came from this throw-in. Odegaard down the line to Saka. That ball was superb. The ball across was delightful. Martinelli, goal side of his man, finds the back of the net, gives us the lead. Set piece here, though, right away for Leeds. They're going to dink it in towards Cooper, who's going to header it against the crossbar. Not exactly what you want to see right after scoring. I'm gonna shout to man more. Both our centre mids are on yellow cards. Should I be concerned? For now, I'm not going to touch them. Might come back to regret that as well. There's going to be a chance here. Ball whipped into Ramsdale, who plucks it out the air. And now the goalkeeper clutches onto the ball like a newborn baby. He's going to kick it forward, not like a newborn baby. Unfortunately, Leeds re-secure possession, and they're going to look to come forward again. Sinisterra down this near side. The pacey winger inside to Rocker. He plays it inside to Addons. Great build-up play. And that has gone through Ramsdale's legs. That's one of the great examples this year in Football Manager where there is more variety in finishing. You know, a shot doesn't have to go into the bottom corner to find the bottom corner, to find the back of the net. But in this instance here, where it doesn't go in the bottom corner, it goes through your goalkeeper's leg. It might be more realistic. It's just a bit frustrating to watch, isn't it? It goes through Ramsdale's legs. It would happen in real life. I should be happy. More realism in the match engine. Just don't like to see our goalkeeper nutmegged. Gabriel wins back the ball in a good area. Jesus back to goal, gives it to Zinchenko. The two former Man City players linking up. We're knocking around the ball nicely, and oh my word, Martinelli corrects it from range. It hits the woodwork. Saka tries to square it to Jesus. Tell you what, it's been a lively start to this game in this first half. Maybe a chance here as the ball's played in. It hits the woodwork again. And Leeds United get it away from danger. We've got them on the back foot. We could be on the back foot ourselves here as well because Leeds have got men committed to the attack. Tomiyasu gives away a foul. That was a good foul. Good light to that tackle. That was tactical. Odegaard, free kick. Last action of the half. Meslier makes a great stop to turn it round the post. You have to imagine that is going to be all said and done for the half. It's half-time. It's 1-1. Not overly happy, but I'm not going to start panicking just yet. We've definitely been the better team. Martinelli, corner. He's going to float it towards the back post. No one under it, sadly. Odegaard, though, going to keep the ball in a dangerous area. I don't know if that was a shot or a cross. It's found Martinelli at the back post. He's going to cut inside on his right foot. How's an effort? Meslier forced into a great stop. I feel like I've got to change things up here. I'm going to move Martinelli to striker. I'm going to bring in Andreas through the left-hand side. Down the middle, Emil Smith-Rowe is going to come on to play for Odegaard, who's been a little bit quiet. We're creating plenty, but without that finish at the end of it. Martinelli's had a great game out on the left-hand side. Going to hope he can continue in that vein of form through the middle. Both centre mids on bookings is kind of a little bit scary. So let's make a couple of changes here. I'm going to bring in Leandro, I think, for the ball-winning midfielder role and Andre Santos at centre mid. Get some fresh legs in there. Get a bit of energy as well, perhaps. With 15 minutes left here, it's 1-1. There's a temptation to go more attacking. And, well, I was about to say, there's a temptation to bring on another striker. I'm going to have to bring in another striker because Martinelli has picked up an injury. And you know what? I need to win this game. I cannot afford to sit back, so we're going to make some changes. I'm going to go to the 4-2-4. I want us to be more direct in our play. Let's look for the overlap, focus the ball in the wider areas. With us playing our 4-2-4 system, we're looking to use those wide areas, create overloads there, try and get the ball into the box. Ben White in possession, going to switch it over to Emil Smith-Rowe. A great ball there. The first touch, disappointing. Leeds clear it away, but Barriero makes a great header. And then Andre Santos gets a straight red card. What's just happened? What's just happened? I don't know what's just happened. What do I do? Do I just settle for things now? I kind of still want to play attacking, but what? We just had a... I'm lost for words. I've bigged up this man so much. I've changed my Twitter username to be like a Stan account for him, and then he goes and does that. Can I revoke my membership to his fan club? Right, I'm going to go with a 4-4-1 here. I still want us to be direct and attacking with what's left of this game, because, like I've already said, a draw really doesn't do us anything. We stand to gain a lot more than we stand to lose by going attacking in this situation. Unfortunately, Patrick Bamford's through. He's just put it wide. I'm calm. Everything's fine. 6 minutes of added time here. I'm hoping that Martinelli injury wasn't too serious, but that amount of injury time is a bit concerning. The good news, I suppose, is that down a man, we're not going to lose this game, but that's a game that we absolutely should be winning, and it's another game where I just don't have a striker that I can bring on off the bench to get us goals when Jesus doesn't have a good game. Martinelli, man of the match performance for us. He was our best performer. Please don't be a serious injury. You might think I'm being a bit overdramatic, but I think I want to cry. Martinelli, twisted ankle, out for 3 to 6 weeks. We're sending him to the physio. He won't be available for the North London derby. Our kind of very few striker options become even fewer. Santos is banned for a game as well for his red card. I'm I don't think we should appeal it. It was pretty bad, wasn't it, really? It was a scissor tackle on the halfway line, completely unnecessary. I mean, at least Martinelli shone as we failed to win. With that result, we are now second, behind Man City. And if Liverpool win their game in hand, they'll be even on points with us and also 1 point behind Man City, with 7 games left. It's safe to say that that first game hasn't quite gone to plan. We've got Tottenham away next. They're in 4th. We're in 2nd. We need to win. They're going to want to be denying our hopes and dreams of winning the title. Let's see if we can get one over on them and Antonio Conte's side. I was really hoping that we could get a win going into this match against Tottenham. It's the lunchtime kickoff. Elsewhere, Liverpool won their game in hand that they had over us. They took on Aston Villa a day after our game against Leeds. With that, they are now even on points. And, well, I just think it's very good of us, to have this little wobble towards the end of the season, to make it nice and close at the top. We want to make it an entertaining affair. It wouldn't have been very fun, would it, if at the end of the season we'd just been winning all our remaining games. I mean, I would have had fun. The rest of the league maybe less so. Look, we need to beat Tottenham today. I don't feel confident. I don't know what to do because I just feel like we're getting very unlucky. Maybe I'm getting unlucky. Maybe I'm just terrible at Football Manager. You can let me know in the comments. In terms of team news, obviously Martinelli is now injured for pretty much the foreseeable future. That does mean that Andreas is going to come in and play on the left-hand side. Elsewhere with our team, of course, we have a suspension to Santos. So Viagra is going to come into the team and sit on the bench. He's been playing with the under-21s. He's been playing pretty well for the under-21s. He looks like a solid little player. If we need to call upon, we probably can do. In terms of the rest of our team, it's unchanged from last time out. With the exception of Jesus and just our ability to score, I didn't actually feel like we played that badly. So this is our first North London derby in an episode. You can see looking at their team, it's a pretty strong team. Tottenham in this save game picked up Toremi. The Iranian forward is a good little player, someone we've got to be wary of. Of course, I kind of mocked earlier on in the season Tottenham's formation, this really defensive shape that they play. They are still playing it today. I can mock it all I want. With it, they are actually having some really good results. They're in 4th, 10 points behind us, but with 2 games in hand. Their schedule means that they are going to start the game, I hope, with a few tired legs in their team. I want to believe that we can get a result here. Unlike Liverpool, unlike Man City, we're not in European football. We've not got too many distractions. And with it, well, I want to believe that coming into this kind of game, a week's rest after the Leeds match, we're going to be refreshed and we're not going to let Son score in the first 5 minutes. They've carved us open like we didn't even exist defensively there. Harry Kane plays it forward to Son Heung-min. He's cutting in from the right-hand side. And, well, despite having a hell of a lot of men back here, that was remarkably simple, wasn't it? Ball played through. Tierney caught flat-footed. Ah, yikes. There's a part of me that wants to switch to the 4-3-3 system with a defensive mid, but I'm really not sure how much of an effect that's going to have in this kind of game here. With Tottenham's current shape, I kind of want us to pen them back. I want us to have the kind of free attacking players, hopefully just being able to cut out passes and make it difficult, I suppose, for them to play out the back with their 7 men in the defensive third. Of course, now that they've got a goal ahead, Tottenham are going to be quite happy, I imagine, to sit back and for us to have to try and break them down. I want to believe we've got the creativity to break them down, and well, maybe we're going to see some of it here. Andreas to the byline. He's going to pull it back to Zinchenko. Back to Andreas. Back to Zinchenko. Partey from range. Hits it. Finds the back of the net. Turns out that we don't need a striker to score goals. We don't need a striker in form. We'll just have our midfielders take shots from range. We will take that. 22 minutes into this game, we have a response. The long-range passes here between Andreas and Zinchenko, surprisingly satisfying to watch. Son didn't follow the run. Tottenham just caught maybe a little bit light in midfield there. Either way, time and space for the shot. The shot was invited on. And well, that invitation was duly taken. We're back in this early. 15 minutes left of this first half. We've played just over half an hour. We're not having as much of the ball as I would necessarily like. That said, when we are having the ball, we're creating a little bit with it. I'm going to ask our players just to be a little bit quicker with our play and less keen to play it out from the back. We can get the ball forward, I think, a bit more quickly here. We're not having enough of the ball to justify, messing around with it defensively. I want us to try and be a little bit more adventurous with our passing and create something. And, well, despite those changes, nothing happened for the rest of the half. Hardly a classic. 1-1 at the break. Both teams going to feel like they've got more to offer in the second half. And, well, I'm going to try and extract that from our players by both being firm, but also being fair with my team talk. Look at that, green smiley happy faces across the board. Hopefully that's going to transcend into performances on the pitch. Odegaard on a 6.3 does concern me slightly. I'm going to change things up here. I'm actually going to switch him to play as an advanced playmaker on support. Just ask him to drop in a little bit more. Tottenham playing with 2 defensive mids, I feel like is maybe limiting his ability to have an impact on this game. By playing on support, he will just drop a little bit more frequently. And I think that might just allow him to maybe pull the midfielders out of position and create a bit more space for our wider attacking players to move into. Whether or not that's going to be the case remains to be seen, as Tottenham have the first chance of the half. Kane has smashed that over. Coming up to an hour played, heavily considering my next moves. The changes that I need to make in this game, I suppose they might be somewhat influenced by what happens here, because Tottenham in possession with Perisic. Bissouma now with the ball in the deep area, gives it inside, Medi's through, and Mehdi Taremi has scored. It's 2-1 here. Maybe I should have made changes sooner. They take the lead in this game, and to be fair, Tottenham have had a lot of the ball. They've been clinical, 2 shots on target, 2 goals. And in this situation here, we're just caught a little bit static, not tracking our runners. Taremi makes this run inside. In the current match engine, I feel like inside forwards, inverted wingers, very, very good at finding time and space. And well, we've seen that in both their goals here. Okay, so I'm going to change things up in this game, I think. Fabio Vieira is going to come in for Odegaard, who's not had a good game. We're going to bring Emil Smith-Rowe out on the left-hand side. I think I'm going to show a little bit of patience with Saka and Gabriel Jesus. Zinchenko's not had a bad game. Neither has Partey either, really. Tierney, not a good day in the office for him. You know what? Zinchenko's going to move to left back, and then I'm going to bring in Barreiro to play as the defensive midfielder for us. White on a booking is a little concerning. He's also on a 6.0 rating. You know what? William Saliba, on you come. 4 subs all being made at once. A change in shape too. Going to ask us to play really, really compact. Be a little bit direct with our play. Try and just punch a hole through the middle of this Tottenham team. With them only playing with 2 centre mids, I feel like we could have a little bit of a benefit from trying to just overload them in that area. 15 minutes left in this game. There's not been many chances across the board here. It's been a game few and far between of opportunities. And with 10 minutes left, we're just not creating anything. I've got to go more attacking. I've got to wish us just to try and make something happen here. Let's not play it out from the back. Let's try and be direct. 4 minutes left. Is there a late twist? We've gone more attacking. We've gone more direct. Is there just any kind of breakthrough? 3 minutes left here. And there just isn't. Tottenham clinical with their opportunities. The same cannot be said for us. Just really lacking something going forward. It's such a difficult situation to find ourselves in, where we've not really got a striker in form, and Jesus really is our only goal-scoring option. I just don't think Nketiah is good enough in the Premier League. And yeah, away against Tottenham is not an easy game, but still disappointing to lose. With that, well, a game extra played, we are no longer looking likely, I suppose, at this point, to win the league, which, I mean, first season, maybe winning the Premier League was a bit ambitious, but it would have been nice to do. I mean, it's another disappointing set of results today, but I feel like we have to look at things in a wider context. This year, we were predicted to get a top 4 finish. The board expectation was Champions League football. We still look very much on course to do that. Despite having some tricky games to end the year, we're not out of the hunt just yet of winning a title, but it's going to be tough, let's be honest. That said, there is a great shot at silverware in the FA Cup, and with our younger squad, we are only going to get better. I feel like I'm really huffing copium right now to try and make myself feel better about things. Our recent form hasn't been good. There's no sugarcoating it. But I'm trying to not panic too hard. I don't know, have I just been unlucky? Do I need to mix things up more tactically? I'm not really sure. In that game against Tottenham, I think it's safe to say we weren't good enough. Leeds was unlucky. The red card, I mean, I don't know if it really made that big of a difference, but certainly it wasn't ideal. With where we are right now, Champions League football should still be the aim. By the time we're back next time, which I think is going to be for the games against Manchester United and possibly against Liverpool as well. Anyway, folks, I hope you have enjoyed today's episode today. A bit of a mixed bag with results. 2 disappointing ones, I think, in the grand scheme of things. The title dream is somewhat extinguished there, but we're going to come back stronger next time. End the season hopefully on a high, and well, hopefully I see you guys for it. Only me, recording this bit of the video after I've already finished recording, realised Man City play in an hour or 2. So this is now going to determine, is the episode going to end on a newfound high, or a low? And I'll tell you what the answer is. It's a high. A 1-1 draw for Man City. They're only 2 points ahead of us. It's not over yet. It nearly is, though. I appreciate you spending your lunch break with me today, or whenever you happen to be watching this video. Your company is always appreciated. We're back tomorrow with more. I'll see you all then. And until next time, it's me, Jack, and I'll see you in a bit. I'm out.